I've polished one of the legs, and here's the unpolished one next to it for comparison. It's a good improvement. There's still some, slight rust spots and pitting, but you can see the sheen is quite a bit more. They look good. They cleaned up well. On the feet, they cleaned up okay. Took more work. I'm not sure how shiny these were originally. Probably not super shiny, but the bottoms are about the same. It's a little better. Save a couple bucks by not having to buy new ones. But yeah, these are good. I think it's a positive start. So Brasso is always good on stuff like this. It claims it's for chrome, and it did a good job. I also polished these with these 3M compounds. These are for automotive use, but I use them on everything. They're really good. There's a trio of them. This one's number 1. This one's number 2. And this is number 3. The first bottle's a little bit older, but you can see the part numbers are in sequence, and they go from more coarse to finer. But I think they helped a little bit here. But I think most of the Brasso really did the bulk of the work. And I use the 3M compounds with a dual action polisher and a couple different buffing bonnets. These things had Scotch tape on them with labels for the leg positions, which I thought was kind of funny because, who really needs that? But it suggests that this thing was moved and the legs taken off at some point, which I was unaware of. But here's after a wipe down with the Brasso. There's a good amount of gray on the rag. It's a paper towel, actually. The tan is the Brasso, and the dark gray is the oxidized chrome, oxidized metal, or dirt. So it's taken off a little bit, enough to make it worthwhile. This leg I've polished with Brasso. You can see it's still got some little rust spots on it. It's shiny, but it's got the rust spots. So we'll run our 3M polishes and see what that does. The other ones weren't this bad. The other thing I've determined is that using a small stainless steel brush can remove some of the rust spots, although I don't really know if that's good for the chrome. I mean, ultimately it's just cosmetic, but you can see on this end there's kind of a rust spot. The other side, yeah, it's shiny, but still there's some spots. So that helped, definitely. It's shinier, the rust spots are gone. You can see after buffing with a compound, and I wipe it down with a towel, there's definitely oxidation, probably some of that chrome coming off from the abrasion. I did have to use the stainless steel wire brush to get off some of those visible rust spots. The polishing did not take those off. Needed something more abrasive. The insides aren't too bad. They're probably worse than the outsides. Definitely some rust in there. See it there. What I'm going to do with these, I'm going to run this just quickly over the insides to knock off the rust and knock off any dirt, and I'll just wipe them down with some cleaner. But I'm not going to try to polish the insides. I use the wire brush on the feet. They turned out real nice. Kind of a satiny finish. I put a coat of wax on them, maybe keep them from rusting. Cleaned all the threads, took the nuts off, polished those. They turned out nice. Here's the final product. It turned out real nice. Definitely not perfect, but a whole lot nicer than their condition after 50 years, 50 more years. One of them still has kind of a grain or a texture to it that didn't really polish out real nice, but most of them have got a pretty good finish. They're not mirror-like, but they're probably as close as they're ever going to be. Considering they're just the legs, I think they look really good. A couple hours of work.